Dear friends, in our agenda of today, the main agenda item is we would like to make a discussion regarding the second online International Basic Income March to be held on September 25th, 2021, of course. It will be 24 hours long and 7 main sessions at every 4 hours will be held. And it will start at GMT 0001 AM. Of course, during the 14th Basic Income Week and the 3rd Basic Income March. And of course, afterwards, we would like to hear news from working groups or UBI advocates and UBI networks. Do you have any other agenda items to include? As far as I see, there isn't any other idea. Okay, so we can continue like this. Dear friends, can I again share screen to summarize what we did up to now? Mostly together with Robin. Okay, where is it? Okay. Dear friends, maybe you will remember last year during the 13th International Basic Income Week and in the framework of the 2nd Basic Income March, because of the pandemic, we were not able to go to the streets. And what we did is we had 3 separate Zoom sessions at GMT 12, GMT 1430, and GMT 19. And it was an online session. I would like to share a video recording with you regarding the invitation message of these sessions. 1 second, okay. Here it is here. Okay, this is only 1 minute long, very short. It was the first time, I guess, okay, with different friends from different corners of the world, we said that we are not able to go to the streets, so we are not able to attend to a real march. But what we can do is we can show that we are ready for such a march. I mean, our intention was to go out, but we are not able to. So we show our shoes and we made such an event. This was the invitation message. Did you see yourself? This was the invitation message. And afterwards, we held these 3 events and it was very good. Many different friends from different countries participated. They gave their messages and it was, I think, something interesting. At least we did something during the Basic Income March. So let me go back. Okay, here. Where it is? Okay, here it is. So this was the summary of the last year. Last year it was quite amateur, and we didn't make.
Our agenda or draft agenda is here. You know, this is the 26th meeting of UBI advocates and UBI network.
1 second, dear friends.
This year we changed the timing formula. Each month at GMT.
Okay, something else started. I had to stop it. Okay, let me go back. Where was it? Okay, here. So this was from last year. During the ECI UBI coordination team meetings, and also during the best practices during UBI advocacy meetings, we said that we should do something similar for this year. And this is this year's plan. I mean, this is a draft plan. We can still change everything. So we would like to have the 2nd online International Basic Income March during the 14th International Basic Income Week, and also in the framework of the 3rd Basic Income March. It will be held on 25th of September. It will be 24 hours long event, and it will start from GMT 0001 AM, composed of 7 main sessions at every 4 hours. Again, as an additional activity of our meetings. Some details are, this is the map. So we would like to start very early from New Zealand or Japan, and we would like to continue with contributions from Australia, Russia, China, India, Turkey, European area, African area, And then we would like to pass the Atlantic, maybe Brazil first, and then USA, East Coast, West Coast. I mean, we would like to have something 24 hours long. The idea is to receive attraction of the people. We will say that, okay, we have made such an event for 1 day long, and we would like to do it with or without pandemic conditions. I mean, even if the pandemic is not on the table anymore, we would like to do it. Again, it will be an international event. Let me paint this. It will be announced in advance to avoid any timing problems. Of course, we are going to use the last year's photos, slides, and details to promote this event. The video recording, which you watched a few minutes ago, was a part of those materials. Again, of course, we can use a shoe in our hands, symbolizing a march, but it will be much more complicated this time. It will be 24 hours long, non-stop broadcasting. It will be a single Zoom session. So this means that there will be a single meeting ID and a single password. And the password we chose was BI@move, basic income at move, something like this, because it has to be maximum 8 words, 8 letters. And it will be a series of contributions and events, all kinds of indoor and outdoor events, and live or pre-recorded. They are all welcome. And we would like to have contributions in national languages and also in other languages also, I mean, depending on the choice of the contributors. Okay, Zoom is here. It is not that important at this stage. As a hashtag, maybe more than one hashtag, we can say hashtag basic income march, hashtag basic income march online, and hashtag ZBIM. ZBIM was an idea by our dear friend Robin. It was a Zoom-based international basic income march. But later on, we said that we better not use the Zoom at the title, as you can see here. We say that not Zoom-based international basic income march, but we said second online international basic income march. We don't want to use the trademark. Maybe in the coming years, maybe it will be held in another software, who knows? So we will call it online march. But we can still use ZBIM as mentioned here. Of course, all the events will be announced as GMT, both time and date. We can also mention local time, but in the main flow, it will be designed using GMT system. And all the events should be in 25th of September, both locally and GMT-wise, so that we will be in conformity with the 25th of September timing formula of the basic income march. There will be a Google form. It is almost finished. In this Google form, if any friend would like to make a contribution, let's say Paul Ross from Australia, if he says that, okay, between GMT 8 and GMT 10 o'clock, I can make a contribution in front of the Opera House in Sydney, and I can talk to some celebrities. Okay, he will give the details, and he will mention the timing of his details and the language of his event. And then we will plan the flow of the day, and we will try to allocate time for him. So we will use a Google form for this purpose. It will make things easy for every party. It may be a pre-recorded or live connection to outdoor events. Pre-recorded, not connection, pre-recorded or live connections, yeah. These outdoor events, maybe in some countries, there will be basic income march. It will be, I know. Maybe they will have live connections with their mobile phones, I don't know. Or maybe some of them will contribute as singing songs, contributions from a choir or choirs or singers, preferably with their local languages. It will be more interesting. A bicycling group may come with basic income promotion, maybe something in their hands, written something, I don't know. Or basic income related short messages, speeches are also welcome. Of course, we can request these speeches to be made by celebrities, politicians, or journalists. It's all welcome. maybe we can forward basic income related questions to the people in the streets. I mean, in front of the, let's say, Eiffel Tower, maybe we can ask people what do you think about this idea, etc. It may be an interesting promotion. Of course, indoor events are also a possibility. Maybe during that day, there will be some basic income related meetings and or panel discussions. Maybe we can have a live connection to them, or there may be speeches, etc. We have some tools to realize this project. What I mean by tools, I mean communication, interaction, and collaboration tools. The first one is we can use these meetings to design or to make this concept more stronger. We can use the record book of UBI advocates. I'm using it very often. I mean, it's very useful. We can use the email groups to make the announcements and to receive contributions. There are two major ones, as far as I know, the UBI advocates and the ECI UBI activist team. But also there are many national email groups within the countries, within different countries. So we can use these tools to design and improve the concept. We can use the global map of UBI networks. 1 second, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the kids. Anyhow, we can use the global map of UBI networks. And also in Turkey, we prepared a map of individuals and networks for UBI discussions. It is very easy. We can share this system, let's say, very simple system. And maybe friends can have their own separate independent maps for their countries. And we can maybe have a consolidated version too, but these are the tools that can be used. Let me very quickly show the map, what we are doing in Turkey. This one, 1 second. Okay. Okay, this is the map. It is now finished. Oh, 1 second. Okay, it is finished, but we didn't start promotion. For example, the different colors are mentioning different things. For example, if you come close to Istanbul, these people are for UBI discussions. We don't say that for UBI, but for UBI discussions. We just want it to be discussed. And the different colors means that the red ones are individuals, yellow, black, and blue ones are academicians, media representatives, and networks or political parties, or I don't know, universities, any kind of platform. So this map is growing, and it's being designed by Google Map, so very easy. We can use this too. Okay, let me stop this one and let me go back to the other part. Okay, here. So this was about the tools. So we have these tools. By the way, I saw Peter Knight is with us. Peter, very welcome. Peter, did you just arrive?
Yeah, I missed the start. I'm sorry. I'm
okay.
juggling a lot of stuff.
Dear friends, if you don't mind, very quickly go over from the start, because it will be very quick, so that during the discussions we will be all together. Dear friends, dear Peter, last year we held the first online International Basic Income March. You remember it was very interesting. We couldn't go out because of the pandemic, but we did something. But this year we would like to do something more complicated. During the 14th International Basic Income Week, in the framework of the 3rd Basic Income March, it will be a 24-hour long event starting from GMT 0001, 7 main sessions. In fact, it's a single session, but 7 main concentration points, let's say. And it will be starting from maybe New Zealand, Japan, contributions from these countries, hopefully, and then it will continue up to here till Alaska, maybe, who knows. And it will be held with or without pandemic conditions. In any case, it will be an international event. It will be announced in advance. So it will be 24-hour long, single Zoom session, a series of contributions in national languages or in other languages. I mean, hashtags and other promotion material will be on the table. We will have a Google form for receiving contributions in advance for planning purposes. I mean, if somebody would like to do something, he will say that, okay, I would like to do something like this at this timing of this day and in these languages, and the details are these, and so that we will be able to prepare the flow of the day. We will use pre-recorded or live outdoor events. Any kind of event are welcome, or indoor events, they're all welcome. During the realization of this, let's say, day, we can use these tools, our meetings, the record book of UBI advocates, the email groups, the global map of UBI network, and the map of individuals and networks for UBI discussions, which I tried to show you, which we are trying to do it in Turkey. Maybe some other friends would like to do it in their home countries too. But the thing is, we have a lot of tools to be in communication, interaction, and collaboration. So we can use these to realize this. It will be, I mean, just an example. For example, maybe at GMT 2:30, we will have a contribution from Taiwan. I don't know, maybe at 8 a.m., just as an example, we will have a contribution from India and Russia and Turkey and Finland. It will continue like this. So we will have such a flow, a detailed flow. The title of the, the timing of the contribution, details of the contribution, title of the contribution, maybe contact person, language, and length of it. How many minutes will it be? So it will be something like a full day event. We can have a working group. We can design a t-shirt. Maybe you can you see my t-shirt now? I don't know.
Oh, just your head. I see. Okay.
I mean, but we don't want to, I mean, we can give the design to send by email. So if friends are interested, they can go to a print shop and print one shirt for themselves. I mean, it is their choice. For example, dear Pekka from Finland, maybe you know him from Tampere meetings. He had given a service at the church regarding basic income during the BN Congress. I said, why don't you do this during this meeting too? He said that, oh, it's interesting. He will try to do it. For example, Klaus from Austria, his grandchildren are trying to help him to get more signatures for ECI UBI. And they are going to prepare some single sheet papers regarding ECI UBI, and the grandchildren will take it to the manager of the primary school. He will distribute to the teacher will distribute to the other students, and they will take home and request their parents to sign the ECI UBI. So it's something like a grandchildren-based dissemination of basic income effort. So it may allow others, it may allow inspirations to other friends. It will be interesting. Oh, dear Peter Knight, here, Peter is your, we have a question mark here, but I don't know, maybe you can make a contribution. I mean, you can, I'm sure, do much other things also, but maybe with a bicycling group, maybe you can do something, I don't know. Maybe Gerdur can give a speech near the volcano in Iceland. I don't know, it's again a question mark here, just to receive attraction. We should have at least a contribution from a country, but preferably more. I mean, we have to fill 24 hours. Of course, maybe we can use some pre-recorded speeches too. It may be interesting. Of course, we can have live connections to real or physical basic income marches or events. For example, in Austria, there will be an event at 18 o'clock, GMT 18, I guess. So maybe they can broadcast the event in a live manner from here too. We can talk to Scott, Bidane, and Carl. For example, we can request from dear Helvig to have one of the raffles of UBI for all during that day. So we can, in a live manner, show it. They will have the first raffle on 16th of this month. I mean, they are ready for the first raffle. They already collected 9,600 euros. Okay, we can have live connections to UBI advocates in front of monumental buildings. We can have connections to universities. For example, dear Enno can mention about what they are doing in Freiburg University, so that other friends in other universities may have some inspirations from what they are doing. Maybe there's a course content in Stanford. Maybe we can request them, why don't you tell about the course content? Maybe 10 minutes information. I don't know. I mean, this information is available in their webpage, but maybe somebody would like to say it orally too. I don't know. Maybe we can ask them, why don't you tell about the map of existing experimental studies? This is against Stanford something. I mean,
Basic Income Lab.
Yeah, BIL here.
Yeah.
BIL is at Basic Income Lab. I mean, at Stanford, right? Yeah, their offices in the university campus, but I don't know whether they are officially connected with university or not. But they are. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is the same. Okay, live connection to Aeroflow. Maybe we can have some caricaturist who would like to do something for us, or sketching artists. I don't know. Maybe a web page presentation can be held. There's a new web page in France, very interesting, with slides only. The messages are not by words, but by slides mostly. It may be interesting. Maybe we can request them to make such a presentation. In fact, they did present their web page in the National Congress in Turkey. It was interesting. A network may be borning. There will be a birthday of a new network in Australia. I don't know. Maybe they can make it on the same day so that it will be interesting to have a birthday of a new network. We can contact with BN 2020 Congress organizers so that we can receive more attraction or more contributions to this series of events.
You mean 2021, I assume?
Yes. This part after here.
They're not responding, by the way. I mean, we submitted a proposal months ago, and I asked again, and still got no response. And this thing's coming up in August. I asked Malcolm Torrey to give them a nudge too. It's still no response.
The idea is, I mean, the point is, I guess, dear Peter, most probably they will accept all of them.
Worldwide things, I think, because of this being virtual, people are not having to fly around the world, so I guess they're overwhelmed with proposals. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's no response.
I think they are overwhelmed with proposals, probably, but also a small group of people. But it's worthwhile to Peter, to contact them, because we had responses from them. So, but it may be that yes.
Yeah, Malcolm Torrey forwarded I asked Malcolm Torrey what he knew about it, and he forwarded it to them, and still no response. So I don't know. Good for you. I don't know. Maybe they weren't interested. We were going to write a paper on the income movement in the U.S., which is an umbrella organization promoting UBI with Humanity Forward, and they are the founders of the Basic Income March.
I'm sure you would get a response even if they're not interested. I think it's more a question of work and staff issues that this people, it's a very small group of people who do it. That's what I heard. I think maybe Annie can say more about it. I think she is closer to the organizers.
Dear friends, just last 3 words, then I will be finished. I only took 15 minutes of yours. Thank you very much. The idea is to receive attraction and to have an international event, full day, 24-hour long, non-stop, etc., etc. What do you think about this concept? What else can we do? Any creative ideas or events, additional ideas, additional events? They are all welcome. If you kindly agree, we can discuss about this proposal, and also maybe in the meantime, Annie would like to give some information regarding the BN Congress too. Thank you very much.
there's not a lot I can say, except that there are 3 people who are reading the abstracts and organizing the program. They've had over 200 abstracts and proposals for roundtables, and so that's a lot to organize. And there are only 3 of them doing them, and all have, one, Mike is retired, but the other 2 have full-time jobs. So it's quite difficult to find times when they can get together to meet and talk about it. You should have had a notice by now to say, presumably, that your suggestion or your abstract has been accepted. I know that they have already put out the first round of those, but I can contact the what do you call it, the administrator. They've hired an administrator for 1 day a week to help, because obviously there's no money for this. So I'll ask her to contact you about your.
Thank you very much, Annie, because if we're going to write a paper, and this busy person, I mean, it's mostly going to fall on me, and I need to know to get to work.
Is it a paper or a round table?
A paper. Well, they asked for a proposal for papers. We propose a paper. We can have a discussion of it, of course. We're happy to involve other people involved with the U.S. movement. There are plenty of them, but I don't know. Everyone's busy. That I'll be in Maine. I won't be in my home. I'll be in my supposed vacation.
Right. I'll contact the young woman involved and ask her to contact you.
Thank you so much, Anne.
Dear friends, can we discuss about the online basic income march? I mean, if you kindly, there is Valeria. Please, Valeria, would you please start?
Yes, well, regarding BN, I already got the note that my abstract is accepted. The title was The Story of UBI in Slovenia from Idea to Implementation or Reality. I believe this is important because I asked Eriko if she can send me her presentation of how UBI movement grew in Japan. And I would like to do the same or use her template and do it for Slovenia. But that's about BN. About this march, I don't want to be, I don't know how to say, such a feminist, but I would really appreciate if we decide in our group to write women names and surnames in capital, so capital letters, so I can see how many of women are involved in that. And I would really like to say that it has to be at least an attempt that there is gender balance about people involved and presenting. I'm sorry, I'm not like against Scott Santance and Carl Widerquist or whatever, but you see, if we won't show them that there's a same amount of women included, the movement will lose anyway. And it's also for our sense of, I don't know, that we are careful about that, if we can, I don't know, decide about that. And also I would like to say the last important news for Slovenia. Slovenia has the next year super election year. So it's going to be presidential elections, it's going to be national council, it's going to be everything. And actually, I believe that we will start a pre-election process a little bit earlier, already during this summer, because we would like to this pre-election, I don't know, work use to collect some more signatures for ECUBI. And of course, to connect it with everything what's going on with UB March, and so on. So I actually believe we will have something to show, hopefully. Thank you.
Dear Valeria, I am trying to take notes, but regarding the first point, you said that we would like to consider gender balance, right? But what you mean by writing the names with capital letters?
Oh, I'm sorry. No. It's just like, you see, there are different nations, and I'm sorry. I don't know if PK is men or women. You know. So okay, for Annie it's easy. I mean, and maybe for Valeria it's easy. With Helvig, I already had a problem, you know, to know what gender is he.
So what we can do?
Well, you can put the capital letter for women's surnames. You know what I mean? I will show you.
For example, Valeria Korosec. Korosec is with capital letters.
Yes, that's easy.
Okay.
You see, and I don't know, Reinhardt is as usual.
Okay, without capital letters.
Well, it's usual. You know, it's nice. It's nice touch, because we always want to make women more visible, because they were invisible until now. And I don't think it's such a great discrimination of men.
Okay, I got your point now. Thank you very much. Direna?
Yeah, two things, comments on what Valeria said. I mean, I don't mind. Some people like to call me Hus, others like to call me Reinhard, and I don't mind. So whatever people prefer. Some say Hus is much shorter and easier to remember. The other thing is, I think it's a good idea with gender, but then I think one needs to be, how shall I say, aware that there is more than two. And so if you just point out women and men, you may offend some others. So I would, before you start doing this, contact some sort of groups who work in this area and make a suggestion which is sort of considers transgender, intersex, and no gender. I mean, the different groups, because otherwise you may satisfy some and offend some others. So I think that is important to consider.
I'm sorry, I have to go back shortly and right now. I do agree, I know, but I will not accept this excuse, because it's a much bigger problem than these groups right now. Because I'm working for this kind of discussions for last 10 years or 20 years, and it's not important enough not to do it what I proposed. Thank you.
I didn't say not to do it. I just said to consider other groups as well. So I'm happy, but I think it would be sort of, how shall I say? It would potentially risk getting criticism from some other groups, which I think we should sort of preempt it. But I mean, I don't want. Can I just? Then you can come back. My 2 points I wanted to make. I think what Ali is proposing, I think, is a very good idea. I would suggest 2 sort of points, because I think there is a sort of danger that it mainly attracts people who are already interested or convinced about basic income. So I would suggest, one, that each country considers groups who are maybe potentially interested or may sort of have some link from their topic to basic income, and to invite them. I would think about environmental groups, but also poverty groups, social justice groups, human rights groups, and say that this is the basic income march and we would like to invite you, so that we reach out to people who either have not heard of it or are unsure whether it is a good idea. And linked to that, I think we should consider to raise topics which are potentially controversial or concerns of people who may have heard or may have be interested but concerned about basic income. Like over the weekend, I had a discussion with a housing trade union in the UK, and two things which came up was one question: why should the rich get it? I don't see that rich people should get a basic income. So, and the other one was, oh, this is just another idea to separate the high income countries from the low income countries, because it's all about the countries who can afford it, which can afford it. And so we ignore all the countries and the people in low income countries, in the sort of developing countries, as some call it. So, and so saying basically it's an idea for the rich to make them more comfortable, but it ignores the poor, the global poor. So these are just two. I can think there are many more topics. So it would be good if some take up these topics and make it part of the program, and at the same time attract organizations who may be potentially interested or skeptical but interested, or not so well informed about the topic, in order to reach a wider audience. Thank you.
Dear Reinhard, I try to take notes. Your first comment is regarding the gender balance. We should consider the other parties too. And second, your comment of yours is this event should not be targeting the existing basic income advocates only, but new interest groups should be targeted too, like environmental activists or poverty fighters or social justice or human rights advocates, etc. Am I correct?
Yes, I suggested to reach out to groups in each country where we have a basic income group who may be interested or could be interested in basic income. That is international groups as well as local groups, like environmental groups like Greenpeace, Fridays for Future, Extinction Rebellion, or Amnesty International, human rights groups, Human Rights Watch, and so on, and to send them a sort of invitation once the program is ready. And linked to that is the idea to have at least some of the sort of presentations or whatever events linked to common concerns or doubts about basic income. And that's why I just gave two examples which I came across over the weekend during a discussion. One was, why should the rich get it, which I have heard more than once. And the other one was, is this just an idea for the high income countries? And so we forget about the South, the global South, who may need it even more, but there is no realistic proposal how it can be done there. So it's just all about, it's always national proposals rather than either global proposals or, I mean, Laura has got a proposal, I don't know whether she is, there was somebody, I think, from World Basic Income. So, and, or that there are less proposals developed for the global South, so national proposals for the global South. So these could be some of the topics, and I'm sure there are many others which are sort of similar doubts related to basic income.
Okay, dear. In fact, I was planning to say the third one too, but now it's more clear. Can I share the screen once again so that it will be where it is? Okay, here. Okay, women surnames in capital. This was from Valeria. Gender balance should be considered.
Ali?
Yeah.
I wrote already in chat additional suggestion to put not gender people in bold.
Is it in the chat box?
Yeah.
No gender in bold. Dear Valeria, to tell the truth, we better consider the gender balance in a hidden way. But when we specifically mention, okay, the capital ones are women, no gendered are in bold. So we are simply announcing them. I mean, maybe they will not be happy with this too. I don't know.
What? The last sentence?
I mean, we are like announcing them, okay? This contribution.
No, I mean, that's only if someone says, I don't want to be recognized as a woman or man, you can say, okay, how would you like to be put in? And we don't need, you know, to announce anything or talk. We just start to use this distinction or distinction, three of them.
Dear Valeria, the problem you mentioned, I understand very clearly, but how to solve it, maybe we can think a little bit more. Maybe we can ask in the Google form how they would like to be present. I don't know. Can we do it like this?
Yes, okay, of course.
So this will be better. Ask by Google form. Maybe we can give some options like MS, Mr., or I don't know, maybe they can say something. I don't know, we can formalize it, but I got the problem.
Yes.
Okay. And yeah. And you also mentioned that there will be presidential and national council elections.
Yes.
In Slovenia in 1 year.
Yes.
So because of this, pre-elections will be held too. So there will be possibilities to contribute.
Yes, and we have something else. I'm sorry, I didn't want to speak a lot, but I was away for quite a time. We have referendum on how to conserve our water supplies on 11th of July. And people who raised 50,000 signatures, so we can have this referendum. They are like-minded as we are. So I will try to link this referendum on water as a human right, also with basic income as a human right. And this is going to be this in this July. I just hope I will find connections with people who organize this referendum.
Okay, I try to write your words. We can try to link such other campaigns to UBI advocacy efforts.
Yeah.
Okay, and this part is by the Reina. Okay, let me stop share. Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm so loud today, but I would like to comment on Reinhard, how I will do it, this basic income march, and how I will present it in our Facebook group. I will present it as our holiday, our day. I would like to present them that UBI idea is so strong that we have our own day already, and we are going to celebrate, and we will show them how strong we are through the world. And I'm not going to newspaper asking them for attention. No, we are going to be so strong that they will notice us. And this is going to be a Slovenian concept. I mean, I don't mind anymore the people who are not already in basic income idea. I just want to make a basic income group movement so emotionally strong that they will be pulled to us, you know. But now I'm finished. I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay, I just take a single note. Basic income group advocates should be emotionally strong. Okay. Any other friends? I mean, we are a very small group. I hope everybody will contribute. For example, Annie, would you like to say anything? Oh. Any? Not now? Okay, maybe Olaf. Dear Olaf, please.
Yes, thank you very much. As I said before we started the meeting, it's very likely that in September 25th, all the pandemic measures in Germany will be not anymore restrictive, so that we can hold our basic income march in Berlin on the street as we did last year. And I think that not only in the US, as you wrote in your draft, but also in Germany, it would be very good to link this basic income march on the street in person with this virtual basic income march in the Zoom meeting. I think this is very challenging because we're on the move, and as you may have heard, that the internet connections in Germany are not the best, but perhaps we can have a certain point where we stop and where we can show the crowd that is on the streets in Berlin, and can also show to the crowd what's going on this Zoom meeting. So perhaps I can give this suggestion to the organizers here in Berlin, and we will discuss how to realize this, how to make this real, make it become real. I mean, would that be a good contribution to this idea? What do you think?
Sure, definitely. I take my notes. I said we can have a live connection to Basic Income March in Germany, right? Did I take correctly?
Well, I can only speak for the capital of Berlin. There shall be several other marches in Germany, I suppose.
Oh.
At least one in Cologne and another one in the southern area, but I was referring to the Berlin one.
Dear Olaf, it will be very nice. For example, most probably they will have a live connection to the Basic Income March in YouTube too. Even if they cannot manage to have a separate Zoom link, we can use their YouTube link. I mean, we can connect from there too. But can you give support us regarding the organization of the German friends? I mean, for example,
I can definitely give the suggestion to the Berlin organizers, and I will get back at you as soon as I have a reply from them. I'm not one of them, I'm just connected.
That's great. Dear Olaf, I would like to say one thing, dear friends. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much, but you remember our friend, the lady who received the raffle, the German friend. You remember her? She's joining our meetings.
Yeah,
Sabine.
Sabine, yeah. Maybe we can ask some previous raffle winners to tell about their experiences. And also maybe we can have some news from the ongoing new experimental study for 3 years in Germany. I mean, maybe just the organizer of the new campaign can tell about the new experimental study for 3 years, 120 people, 1,000, 2,000, 1,200 euros, etc. So it will give an idea to other friends in other corners of the world, in the other corners of the world.
Well, the main organizer is always Michael Bohlmeier. You may have heard of him. He is quite hard to get in contact with, at least for me, or for us it is. So if you have any other friends that could make the direct contact to Mr. Bohlmeier, he would, I think, be the right one to ask to give the speech that you are referring to.
Can you write the name in the chat box, please? I'm sorry.
Yes, I can, of course.
Oh, it will be great.
Olaf, you know, and Ali, can we have different rooms, you know, in Zoom? Like, because when Olaf was talking about this march, you know, I would like during the day sometimes jump into the room of Berlin march and have a feeling that I'm connected, like on Streamline or YouTube Streamline, you know, so I can walk with you and have your feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it should be technically possible. So you mean that 24-hour long broadcasting, but during the day at certain times there will be parallel sessions ongoing. It may be possible. I will check it, but it's a good idea. By the way, dear Olaf, maybe we can reach to Michael Buhlmeyer through Enno Schmidt, because he is in the Freiburg University and he is very well connected. Maybe he can give an idea.
I always think that if Anno reaches out to somebody, this somebody will more likely respond than when I will do it.
Yeah. He's very well known. Okay, dear John, would you like to comment or?
You know, quite honestly, in Canada, we haven't got basic income week on our radar yet, at least not that I have seen. The movement has grown so fast and so large in Canada that we're grappling with how to keep everyone on the same page with the same message. And we've been fighting that for the last little while. We've got the North American Basic Income Group Congress coming up on the 17th of June, which is a virtual event, and I am sure that there will be lots of discussion coming out of there, and you can rest assured that I'll be lighting a fire under Basic Income Canada and Ontario Basic Income Network. Canada has 5 time zones. So actually 6, one of them's a half-hour time zone. So, I mean, we've got a lot of land mass to cover, and if we can possibly get our provincial cohorts organized to do something, then we could certainly be strong contributors to the advocates march.
Dear John, I'm trying to take notes while you are talking. You said that.
Understood.
Pardon?
Understood.
Yeah.
Ask away.
Hello?
Yeah, ask away.
No. I just take a few notes. You said that the North American Basic Income Guarantee Congress is interesting event which is coming. Maybe we can try to promote the concept during that event. I don't know how we can. Also, we can
absolutely.
Also, you mentioned that there are 5 time zones in Canada, and you don't know at which locations there will be basic income march. Am I correct?
Right. I have no idea what cities have anything planned at this point right now.
For example, we can talk with our friends. Luke is with us. I guess he's with us right now. Let me check. Oh, Luke is here. We can talk to Luke, Sheila, and I don't know, maybe Tony and other friends. Maybe the lady, what was her name? I cannot remember now. But what I mean is, it may not be clear now, but we have time. We can make it clear, or we can make it happen. I don't know. It doesn't have to be a real march. It can be some other events.
Well, I think that like in Germany and maybe in the States, if they can get past that threshold, Canada's probably not going to have a problem with marches by the time September 25th rolls around. So I expect that there could well be a lot of in-person marches in addition to Zoom efforts.
Yeah. Dear John, the in-person or physical marches are very good, very welcome. But we would like to connect them. For example, maybe we can invite some journalists to our meetings, and we can see that, okay, Basic Income advocates are holding an online march, one full day, 24 hours. Don't you think it's interesting? What you'd like to mention about this in your newspaper? I don't know. I mean, we can try to attract more attention. I mean, of course, physical marches are welcome, but we can do something additionally.
Ali, you can give them credentials, or I don't know how to say it, you know, they should apply for it and get permission, like the same as going to the press conference of president. We can send the information about that, and I can send this for about 50, 100 newspaper journalists in Slovenia. But they have to go back to you and get credentials. You know, you have to make this a little bit, how to say, price. It's not like for everyone, it's a price being connected with us.
I hope we will see such days, but maybe too early. But what, dear Luke, would you like to mention anything or criticize the concept or?
I think I will ask Claudia, whom you know.
Yeah, Claudia.
If she intends to have something done in Montreal, but I'm in Quebec City, and I know that I wouldn't try to get a march here going on. It's not no, I don't have that type of network. But Claudia might in Montreal, and it's more important to do something in Montreal than in Quebec City anyway, because it's a big city. And but the thing that I had in mind for myself for the Basic Income Week was to have an international meeting in French on basic income, like do it again, like we did last year. We had your friend from Turkey, you remember?
Yeah, I remember well.
But then what I have in mind too for this year's such event would be to do it with my colleagues in France, rather than doing it from Quebec. Doing it from France, and we would participate in it. But it would have to be sometime in the middle of the day in France. You see. So if it can be fitted in the events in Europe, and if you had sort of an hour to try to do it at, I would stop talking about with Rahiri and people like that, and try to and see what we can do. That's the thing I have in mind. And if and I would try to do it with my colleagues in France.
Dear Luke, it will be great. The timing is no problem. We have 24 hours. I mean, it will be maybe afternoon of France, but I don't know. You will decide yourself. But the timing is no problem. We can solve it. And the panel in French is also interesting. I mean, of course, English is being used more frequently, but more often. But we better try to have some other events in other languages too.
Well, that's what you've mentioned in the big description that you have made.
Yeah. May I ask a question? Where is Sheila from? Montreal or Quebec, or I don't know.
She lives in Toronto.
Okay. And dear John, you are from?
He's from Hamilton.
Hamilton, okay. So 4 names from 4 different locations in Canada. John from Hamilton, Claudia Montreal, Sheila Toronto, and Luke Quebec.
Just a question, did Annie raise her hand quite a while ago and was not recognized?
No, maybe she did. We tried to, did any?
I just thought of some things to say. One is an excuse. The very small group in Scotland is very much exercised by the UBI Congress, which is only 1 month before the Basic Income March. But there's some other news to share with you. You may be aware that we had Scottish Parliament elections in May, and they returned a majority of people who are in favour of basic income. The only trouble is that we don't have the powers in Scotland to implement a basic income unless we became independent. And those same parties form a majority who want to go for independence for Scotland. And the other bit of news is that in the last couple of years, we've had a cross-party group on basic income at the Scottish Parliament, and we are making moves to reinstitute that now that the new Parliament is in place and there'll be new members of the Scottish Parliament. For there to be a cross-party group, out of the 5 main parties, the 5 parties in the Scottish Parliament, at least 3 parties have to contribute. So we just need 1 other party in addition to the 2 parties who form the majority at the moment. So I just thought I'd share that good news with you, and it may make up for the fact that we haven't got any plans at the moment for a basic income week or march in Scotland. As chair of the Citizens Basic Income Trust, I did mention it at our meeting last week, but the trust is really a group, an educational charity, and the people are spread all over the country, but we're relying on people like Reinhardt and the other UBI labs across England to do the practical advocacy work, and we'll support them in any way that we can. So that's just to let you know what's going on in my neck of the woods. Thanks, Ola.
Dear Annie, thank you very much. Dear Olaf, while talking with you, I'm opening the Word document here, so I cannot see the screen. That's why I couldn't catch Annie's raising her hand. I'm sorry. But Annie, can I ask a question? As far as I understand, in the Scottish elections, the Scottish National Party and the Green Party, I guess the first 2, they are for UBI, and they have about 70 seats in 120 seats.
Yes.
For example, can you invite 1 politician from Scottish National Party, another from Green Party, and you can moderate the session, and you can discuss the basic income related progress in Scotland and visions for Scotland. What do you think?
For basic income, the basic income march, you're suggesting?
I mean, during that day, at a specific time interval, for example, you can have somebody, a parliament from Scottish National Party and another one from Green Party. There's a 3rd party too, if I'm not mistaken.
The Labour have supported us having a cross-party group in the past, but we don't know who it will be this time. We have to wait. It's not set up yet. But anyway, we'll keep that in mind and see what we can do for Scotland on for the Basic Income March. Yeah, an interview with them would be very good.
No, I mean, as a senior UBI advocate in Scotland and in UK, you can invite these politicians and you can have a chat with them. It would be very interesting, I'm sure.
We can try and do that. Now that you've put the idea in my mind, I will try and follow it up.
That's great. That will be great. I mean, the politicians who are for UBI will be great.
Yeah.
Dear Eriko, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Dear Eriko, your presentation during the worldwide meetings regarding the UBI movement in Japan was very, very interesting. Thank you very much. Do you think we can do something during the 25th of September too? There are 4 UBI networks. And
Yes, I would like to think about it. So that is why I am joining this meeting. Hearing your ideas and talking, I want to think what I can do with other members in Japan. And perhaps 22nd of September, we have an annual big meeting of, about this basic income. So, or maybe I am planning to have a kind of monthly Zoom meeting. So maybe what I say, videos of that, or I mean, maybe perhaps just difficulty is technical things. We are not good at this Zoom things or showing up and this IT technology. So, but I want to think about it. So after this meeting, I will talk to my colleagues of Basic Income Association. Yeah.
Dear Eriko, I would like to say two things. First one is regarding your meeting on 22nd of September.
Yes.
You maybe if you are going to have a video recording of that meeting, if there is an interesting part of it, or maybe maybe full video recording, I don't know, your choice. But maybe we can use a pre-recorded something during that day too. And another one is if you are going to have your monthly meetings, if you think that you can do it on 25th of September, you can have it, you can have it during this Zoom session. And so they will just join the Zoom, and I guess you can do the moderation. So there will be a Japanese sub session during the full 24-hour long broadcasting. It will be interesting. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I think, yes, it sounds very interesting, especially this perhaps monthly meeting. I expect younger generation, younger people would join this monthly discussion. So if we can pre-record it, or maybe during this 24 hours, if, yeah, that I think a good idea too. I try. I don't know if we can make it, but I will try.
Dear Eriko, in fact, what you need is you will have the Zoom link. So you will request your friends to join the Zoom at, let's say, 6 a.m. GMT in the morning. And then the session will be yours. You will continue for, let's say, half an hour or 40 minutes. And then you will leave to us. In the meantime, we will be in the room too. Maybe we will not understand what's ongoing, but it will be still interesting.
Yes, still we can share enthusiasm, perhaps, of young people.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I want to discuss with other members about timing and what time they can make it and these things. So, yeah.
Okay, it will be great. I mean, I'm planning to call or reach to Peter Brake from New Zealand too. Maybe we can start with a New Zealand contribution and then continue with Japanese and Australian contributions, and we can sweep in this direction. By the way, Valeria, you are raising your hand, I guess. Would you like to contribute?
Yes, because I got some new ideas listening to Annie and Eric. Actually, I wanted to ask in advance, Eriko, because I've got the idea that if I'm going to present like comparative approach, comparing Japan and Slovenia, so I would like once to invite Eriko to talk with me about it. And so we can talk about the similarities, and I would like to record that, or I can have it in live on March, you know. And of course, I wanted to suggest that I can invite Wilbur's Vilibor, European Member of Parliament, a Member of Parliament from Croatia, you know. We were connecting with him. And we can also discuss like maybe 5-10 minutes and make a little, I don't know, recording again, but not, as I said, not necessary in the mainstream. More preferable in the separate rooms, like for ex-Yugoslavia people, you know. I mean, it can be different kind of rooms for people with different interest.
The gentleman, the European Parliament from Croatia, I know him. He's for UBI and very strongly. So it might be interesting. And together with Eriko or with ex-Yugoslavia people, these are all possible and all very welcome. It may be pre-recorded or live. I mean, your choice.
It sounds very nice, but perhaps I need to prepare well beforehand because my English sake. So, yeah.
Eriko, my English is, it's not good as you can hear. So I believe we will match just perfectly.
Okay, okay. I mean, yeah. Okay. I will study anyway myself. We still have time. Yes.
Sure. I'm sure it will be very beneficial and very nice. Dear friends, also between the events, if we have time slots, maybe we can utilize some past video recordings. I mean, maybe let's say in one of the Nordic BN meetings, okay, somebody made a speech and there's a recording of it. It may be interesting. For example, I have a recording of Hilde Latour from Netherlands. We had invited her to Istanbul and she talked about sustainable development solutions and UBI, something like this. I mean, sustainable development goals and UBI. The United Nations 17 goal for the year 2030. So if you do have something like this in your minds, which might be an interesting reference video recording, existing one, we can use them too, because we have to fill the 24 hours. I mean, we will not stop the sessions. It will continue all the way.
But Ali, have you thought about it, that just to take out of these UB Advocates recordings? We had so many different guests. They had presentations, you know, with sharing slides and everything. I mean, you can put it together. I mean, maybe your daughter can, just to make a movie of everything what happened in the last year. I mean, I actually believe we don't exploit enough our own work, you know, our past work. We had to disseminate it more. We have to make marketing of what we are doing. I mean, in Slovenia, we are saying marketing. I don't know, PR. Okay. Don't be so shy about how much we did it. You did it. Show it. Show it. Just show it.
Okay. Another interesting idea after requesting journalists to apply for permission to attend to our meetings. Dear John.
Thanks, Ali. I'm curious. I've been going in my head back. Have we seen anyone from Ireland? I mean, the advances that Ireland is making right now is truly amazing, and I'm impressed as hell. But we don't really seem to hear much from them.
Dear John, our friend John Brake, I guess, from Ireland. Did I remember the name correctly? John Brake?
John Baker,
John Baker. Okay, John Baker.
and Sean Healy, who is the priest who has been advocating for the experiment amongst the artists. And he has a team at his social justice center.
Can you write the second name? I know John Baker. He's sometimes sharing emails at the group, and we had communicated with him several times in the past, but the other one I couldn't remember.
I can put it in the chat. The social justice island, they are very strong, but it's a very small group, so that's why they're probably not present in many events. That's what they explained to me.
Yeah, but they have a very good new web page, and they are having monthly meetings. And their motivation, and I mean, they are doing very well. I think we should try to receive their contributions. John is right.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean,
Sean Healy.
Sean.
Sean.
Yes.
Sean, he's a priest,
yes.
right? By the way, Pekka is a gentleman. I mean, the priest from Finland is a gentleman. Like this, Valeria was asking. Okay. Dear friends, do you think universities may be interesting to get in contact? For example, do you have any friends from a university in the economics department or philosophy department who can say a few words about this concept? Because when there's somebody from a university, it is again giving added value to the contribution.
Ali, I know that Annie is the right person to answer that, but actually I have some news as well. You know, I applied to be a research assistant at the University of Bath to work there on UBI microsimulation with Nick Pierce, who is a part of a Freebies collaborative group. Anna Schmidt talked. Yesterday, I talked also, I spoke with Anna Schmidt as well on this, and they are going to, as Anna probably explained much better, do a lot of research work on basic income. So yes, I believe, although I'm not sure I will get that placement, that job, I believe I can write to Nick Pierce. Annie, do you know him?
I know, I forgot his name.
Dear Valeria, how do you write the name? How do you write the name? Nick Pierce?
Yes.
Yes. I know Luke Martinelli, who, sorry, this is back to front, but Luke Martinelli has been the main worker, and he does a lot of work with microsimulation models, and he sort of does experiments with them. And so it's good to hear that they're expanding the work there, which I hadn't heard about. Yeah, he's a good bloke. Yep.
Luke Martinelli is also from University of Bath, right?
Yes.
Dear friends, what I think is, for example, if we can receive short contributions from these friends, they can tell about their research topics, research interests, etc. It doesn't have to be a very long academic presentation, but maybe, let's say, Anna Schmidt from Freiburg University, maybe from Bath University, maybe from Stanford, maybe Alma Zeleke from New York University, NYU. She's a faculty member of NYU, you know. You know Almas?
Yes.
Almas, Stanford, NYU. Annie, you were also
Louise Haak. She's also at the university, I believe.
University of York.
Yes.
Okay. Louise, she's in UK or in Denmark now?
No, UK,
Okay.
York.
Okay.
Yeah.
It will be great. Dear friends, do you think it might be interesting, for example, to have a connection to Eduardo Suplicy, Senator Suplicy from Brazil? He's sharing a post and thousands of people are resharing, I mean, reposting his post. I mean, he has too many followers.
I think he should record his rendition of Blowing in the Wind, and we play this at the end of the day, the last 5 minutes of it.
Let me take a note. Blowing in the Wind, the song, when did you...
Was that Bob Dylan? Was that Bob Dylan's song?
Yes, that's Bob Dylan's song, but Eduardo sings it at every meeting when it's finishing. So he's also famous in Brazil for doing that, because I once met a Brazilian politician in Germany, and we found out that we both do know Eduardo Suplicy, and we instantly burst into song of Blowing in the Wind, because that's the one thing you always will remember when you think of Eduardo Suplicy.
I heard while he was singing, I think it was in India meeting. I'm not sure, but I heard once. Dear Valeria?
No. Sorry. I will.
Okay. Dear friends, do you think we can reach to Andrew Yang or Hamon from France? Look, do you think we can reach to Hamon?
To whom?
Hamon?
Oh, I guess we could, and I guess that somebody in Canada could reach to Yang. I would. There's Floyd Marinescu here in Canada who might be able to get in touch with Yang, and I'm sure that the people I know in France could connect with Hamon. I'm quite sure.
I mean, dear Luke,
I think that we could get in touch with Yang, but I doubt very much he's going to have much time. He's running for the mayor of New York right now.
yeah, but dear John, if you say that it is a 24-hour long single session basic income activity all around the world, you should be there at least for 5 minutes. I mean, maybe he would like to use this opportunity.
I know Floyd Marinescu knows him.
Who?
Floyd Marinescu, he's UBI Works. He's very big in Canada for promotion of basic income. I can get in touch with him and see if he can reach out to Andrew, and I don't know, income movement in the States too, they might be able to get something happening if New York City is going to have a march, which they traditionally do.
Dear John, did I write correctly? Floyd Marinescu in the chat box. Is it correct?
I'll put it.
It's close to.
By the way, why it's making echo, I don't understand. For example, dear Olaf, there are some German politicians. Do you think we can reach to some of them? For example, I know a Swedish politician, Anki, I can't remember her surname, but we can reach this Swedish lady too. Maybe we can try to reach to South Korea mayor, the South Korean mayor, the mayor at South Korea. Dear Annie, you are muted, please.
Governor Lee of the Gyeonggi province. if he were available, but he doesn't speak English, but he could speak in Japanese, and he'll have an interpreter.
It's not a big problem. We don't have to understand him. Because I was together with there was an Indonesia Real Basic Income National Congress, and Sarat Davala and a friend from South Korea, and I was in the same panel session. And I met somebody from that municipality. South Korea is going very well too. They have an election in this
No,
autumn.
March next year.
March or autumn?
I think it's March next year for the president, and Governor Lee, I think, is wanting to be one of the presidential candidates. He was a presidential candidate last time, but was beaten by, is it Moon or Park? I can't remember what the current president of South Korea's name is. But I'm sure he will stand again next time.
There is a Japanese politician I know. Eriko had mentioned about him. Who was?
Do you know Hyo Sang-an in
Yes.
South Korea? Well, he would be a good contact to maybe get in contact with Governor Lee.
Yeah, Hyo Sang, very good idea.
Ali, may I jump in? I forgot for something very important.
Sure, we are just.
Slovenia is going to be the president of European Union for the next half of the year.
When it will start?
You know that I don't know how European Council is moving around. Each half of the year, different EU country is the presidential country. Yeah?
Okay.
So after Portugal, and I believe Slovenia is following Portugal, and after us is Germany. But in the next half of the year, we expect that a lot of European politicians are going to be in Slovenia. So what I'm saying is Slovenia is such a small country. If we would have a nice, I don't know, event or something that we can, through Slovenia, come to European politicians, you know. I mean, I just thought about it right now, so I have no idea what to do. But actually, if I'm, you know, as I said, I work opposite to the president, how to say,
Office.
President House, and on the right side is president of government. So I'm like seeing all those Mercedes and limousines in front of my job. So anyway, I can give them, I don't know, a leaflet of UBI, I don't know. But anyway, we have a lot of opportunity this year, really.
Dear Valeria, does this mean that your presidential period will start by July 2021, the second half of this year?
Yes.
At the end of June, I mean, at the end of this month?
On the 1st of July.
Okay, and you are sure it is your term right now? I mean, right, this term is Slovenian term.
I mean, Ali, of course I know.
No, because you said that after Portuguese, maybe after...
No, because I'm not sure if it was Germany already in front of us. I don't know, Olaf, help me. Because you see, three countries together are making the term, and they have to coordinate themselves. You know, and I just know that...
the incoming and the present, yes, but Germany is not one of them. It can only be after you, because we already had this presidential function quite recently, as I recall.
Okay, so maybe we are the third of these three countries. I'm not sure who is going to be the next after Slovenia, but I know that Slovenia is now on the job, and all Europeans are very afraid of our president of government. I mean, they don't know what he will do or say.
You give me an idea, dear Valeria. I mean, I don't like such promotions, but you know, the general president of the General Assembly of United Nations is from Turkey at the moment. Not the General Secretary, but the you know, the assembly, the big one.
I don't know. But
Maybe we can do something like this. Maybe we can get in contact with Professor Jeffrey Sachs from Columbia University, and he started a network called Sustainable Development Solutions Network, and it is related to Sustainable Development Goals of UN. So maybe with Jeffrey, and I don't know, it's very difficult to. It's how they call it, big fish. It is difficult to catch them. But we can try. I mean, we can try Andrew Yang, we can try Hamon from French Socialist Party, and we can try all. We will see what we can do, but it's a good idea. Jeffrey. Okay. Dear friends, any other contributions, any other ideas? Very interesting things were on the table. Can I assume that we can act like a working group? I mean, there's no negative answer. Okay, that's great. And maybe you read in the chat box, dear Peter Knight mentioned that he will share his ideas by email. I'm sure Peter has a lot of connections. He has connections with the Yang Gang too. And now he moved to the United States. He's not anymore in Brazil. And he has a separate network, sufficiency for sustainability or something like this. I mean, he has a separate network. May I have a question? For example, can we try to couple with several international networks? For example, this DM organization in the European area, the Yannis Varoufakis from Greece, they started. You know DM? I mean, because they have a network, if you can reach to few network hubs and receive their contributions, then they will share our event in their networks too. So it will be a promotion of our event too. So we can try to get in contact with networks too. What do you think?
Yeah, Varoufakis is for basic income. You know that, huh? Don't you?
Yeah.
And in the latest book that was released here in Germany, Noam Chomsky recommended to make this connection for a progressive worldwide movement. So we should always consider that.
I had the chance to meet with Yannis Varoufakis in Istanbul, but it was maybe 2 years ago. And there are two DM, maybe more than two now, two DM chapters in Istanbul and Izmir. Maybe I can try to reach him. And at the end of the day, they are politicians. They would like to utilize such platforms to share their ideas. So who else? I know somebody, but it's quite difficult. The Australian president. Yeah, he's from Greens, I guess. If he didn't finish his term, he might be interesting. And I have a connection to reach him. Anyhow, let's do like
Do we have any connection?
John.
Sorry, Ali. Do we have any connections with Yanis Varoufakis?
I met him, had the chance to talk 10-15 minutes in our university. It was 2019, but I know the DM chapters in Turkey. So through them, I can try to reach him because they invited him here and he spent 3-4 days. I'm at the moment, they are ex-politicians, so it may be more easy to catch them.
John, do you think that Leah Gazan would get into that?
I suspect that she would. Leah Gazan is a member of parliament from around Winnipeg, sorry?
From where?
Winnipeg, I believe she is, or around there, around Winnipeg, Manitoba. And she actually put forward a motion in Parliament that couldn't get unanimous approval to discuss it, but she has been pushing for a basic income very strong, and she speaks very, very strongly of it. She's Indigenous and has a very, very powerful voice in Canada.
What was her name? I couldn't catch it.
I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
And John, of course, there's Kim Pate.
Kim Pate, yeah. Kim Pate's a senator.
Dear John, can you reach to this lady?
Yes, definitely.
To Leah Gazan.
We talk to them regularly.
Very, 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 very interesting. And also it's good from Valeria's criteria too. She's, I mean, a lady at the end of the day. Okay, what is this in Slovenian language? Dear Valeria, you are muted. I'm sorry.
At the end, I just wanted to put that after Slovenia, it's going to be France, then Czechoslovakia, and in 2023, Sweden.
But 1st of July, Slovenia will be the president of the European Commission or European Union. What's the, yes. Which one?
European Union. I mean, I don't know. It's such a, I don't know how to say it. It's called like a European Council. And we don't know exactly if is it only a formality or you can actually do something. But more and more, it's only manifestation of democracy, and small countries cannot do a lot. They don't have enough power or anything, but they get some more publicity. That's all.
We should think about this. I mean, we should find something. I don't know what we can do.
I mean, I still have a lot in front of my eyes, this UBI, which is going to last so much longer. So actually, we really can do a lot. I mean, if we are going to collect signature in 2022, I believe. Is it true? Is it true?
Yeah, June 2022.
So you see, it's going to be France, and France is really strong on basic income. So I mean, this presidency we can try to get more known on this subject.
Maybe we can request ECI UBI national coordinators to contribute too.
Yes.
Maybe we can make a report. Each country may give a 1 minute or 2 minutes report. Okay, we are at this stage. Slovenia, maybe number one percentage-wise. Then who is coming? Number two is Greece.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't check.
I mean, it may be a good to receive some summary report from each country. What is the current status of the signature collection campaign?
Yeah.
Okay, dear friends. I mean, I'm sure we will have more ideas. But let's continue to think about this. But I think we shouldn't wait till the last minute. I mean, if you can have connections, dear Luke, dear John, dear Annie, also dear Olaf, dear Valeria, Eriko. I mean, for example, if you can get in contact with that lady, the parliament from from Canada, it will be very interesting. Also, the politicians from Scottish National Party and Green Party might be interesting. At the end of the day, what is the concept is 25th of September, full day. We can arrange the timing based on their available times, and we can fit any format, a pre-recorded message or a live discussion with questions, without questions. I don't know.
Ali, don't forget that the BN is in August, I believe.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm looking forward, you know, and I believe I'm going to make so many more connections. It's going to be like fruitful, and I believe we can, I don't know, find some good stuff on that Congress as well, you know, and just launch it afterwards, 1 month after it. I mean, we will have a lot of stuff. I don't know. Maybe I will just like make a list of the best papers I've heard this year, and I will talk about them. Maybe I will be bad and I will say, well, let's make a list of the worst papers. I don't know, something.
Maybe, dear Valeria, as you mentioned, I mean, it's maybe not good idea. Maybe we can say that which one was the best, or I mean, we can make a competition. I don't know, or at least we can put the names of the presentations next to each other. We can prepare a 5 minutes long video recording, so people can have an idea. Okay, during the BN Congress, they discussed these, and these are the presenters. These are their topics, and they can find it in the webpage of the organization.
Yeah, that's true, you know, Ali, but you are so nice. And you know that PR and marketing, sometimes it's not good to be just like official and scientific. I actually believe that some people would like to hear me why I'm not happy with the Luke Martinelli paper. You know, why not? I'm not. So let's put it on the table and share the ideas why I believe it's not so good. That would be interesting, you know.
Open to everything, any idea, any concept, anything. We have to have 24-hour long program. And we can do it. I mean, it's not something, it's possible, technically possible, and financially feasible.
Yes.
And
I really like this COVID Zoom consequences.
Difference, believe or not, I was attending to all BN congresses. Sometimes I was not able to match the name and the face. I mean, and they mention a name. I said that I know him, but when I see him, I don't remember him because I remember the name. But sometimes I see the face, I remember him, but I can remember the name. So this gives us the opportunity to have more close communication, interaction, and hopefully collaboration. Valeria, do you consider to be a candidate for the presidential elections?
Well, actually, I'm having a meeting on the 17th of June with one whistleblower, the most well-known whistleblower in Slovenia, and I would like to make some kind of how to say partnership that he's going to be a candidate, and I will strongly support if he's going to be for basic income. So I'm going to play a little bit along.
No, scale-wise,
Yeah.
Slovenia is a very nice country. 2 million population, 1.2 million adults, so they can vote. So you can drive from one corner to the other corner of the country
in one day.
In 1 day? No.
Of course.
I mean, how long does it? 1 hour, maybe.
6 hours from one part of the country to the other.
Okay, the biggest distance is 6 hours.
Yeah.
Because maybe our friends do not know, several years ago, there was such a project, and my daughter and me was trying to support Valeria, but we couldn't convince her. Anyhow. Dear friends, we are already past 90 minutes. It was our target. If you do have any other contributions or comments, please share with us, or if you kindly agree, we can finish our labor of today. But please, I mean, we can proceed. We can try to have events, and you look, for example, the panel discussion, which you are thinking. We can design it, and very easily we can reserve the timing. And also the politicians, we can.
Hey, Ali. Ali, can you save me some mess up time when you're in maps? Do you work with your places, or what do you work with when you're setting up individuals and groups and whatnot? You're muted, Ali.
You mean the map which we prepared for Turkey?
Yes.
Okay, if you do have a few more minutes, I would like to tell the details to Valeria too. I can tell full details. Do you have time? Okay, let me share the
Absolutely.
One second.
One of the things that Basic Income Canada is doing right now is we're trying to find all of the stakeholders and do exactly this, map them. So this could be useful for that as well.
Dear John, you know the global map of UBI networks, right? I don't. Okay, this is for Turkey. We have a you know Google Forms. One second.
Yes, do for sure.
Google Forms, dear Valeria and dear John. So it is free of charge. And in the Google Forms, we create a form. Where is the form? Okay, here is the form. This is the designer's page. So I can both design the form and also check the responses. There are 250 responses up to now. And the form is designed like this. There's an explanation at the beginning, telling the purpose of this form and telling the categories. For example, category A is about networks or platforms, societies, foundations, political parties, universities, cooperatives, media organizations, etc. So this is category A. You can, oops, you can see here, this is category A. Category B is as an individual, academicians. Category C is media representatives, again, an individual category. And category D is ordinary citizens. So we have 4 categories in our case. You can change it. It's not a big problem. But the thing is, when the questions start, the first question is asking whether you are a network or a platform, or whether you would like to be in the map as an individual, as an academician, okay, here. Or if you would like to be a media representative, it is here, or 1 second. I mean, depending on your choice, you are clicking here, okay? And then it is asking the questions. For example, for a network, it is asking the name of the network, email address of the network, the city, and the country. And then if you would like to, you can give your web page address too, but it is not an obligatory question. You can answer it or not. But the first 4 questions, the name of the network, the email address, the city, and the country name are obligatory. You have to do it, because otherwise we cannot locate you in the map and we cannot reach you by email. Then question 5 is optional regarding your web page address. Question 6 is address. But this address is not obligatory, but we would like to receive additional details regarding your address. I mean, in addition to the name of the city. The reason is that if there are more than 1 networks or more than 1 individuals in this from the same city, if we only give the name of the city as an address, then they are putting the points at the same location. So it's not easy to see, let's say, 5 individuals if you don't have additional address detail. So they can give additional details here. They can mention about the street name or an avenue close to them. I mean, some additional details. And then if they like, they can give a contact person name. And if they have any other comments, they can write it here. And of course, at the end, they say that, okay, I agree that I would like to be present in the map. And then for academicians, similar set of questions. Name, but this time individual's name and surname, email address, city, country, and additional address details, if any, and additional comments or requests from them. That's all. And similar for media representatives and for ordinary citizens. The thing is, when you click here, your category, which you would like to be present in the map, then accordingly, if you click the first one, it goes to the first part, second one, second part, third one, third part. So you don't have to answer all of them. You do answer only the related questions. For example, if you are an academician, you start from here and answer these 7 questions, and then it's exiting, I mean, not stopping there. The thing is, when you do this, everything is consolidated here. You see the existing responses, but this is not good for doing something. So you need here an Excel sheet. So in this Excel sheet, everything is here. When the form is submitted, the answers to the questions. So based on the answers to the first questions, based on the category, so 101, 102, 103, can you follow? I guess you can at the top. So these are, how I can say, based on your categories, you answer, everything is here. So here, once we have everything in the spreadsheet form, we prepare a consolidated version. And in that version, we have only the name, address, and the category. And we take them here. For example, maybe, okay. Okay. You see the data here. You upload the data, and based on this data, for example, Istanbul, city name, Turkey, and this is the Fahrettin Kerim Gökayet Avenue. Haydarpaşa is a zone. Kadıköy is a, yeah, it's a, I can say. I mean, these are the address details. And once you have these, you can choose the color. You can choose the style. If you like, you can put numbering. You can do everything. And then you say that, okay, prepare the map. And it is by Google Maps. Again, it's free of charge. Then it distributes the points. And if they were all only Istanbul, maybe they will all together will be at one point, and it will be not easy to see who is or how many people are there and where they are from. So with additional address details, even they are all in Istanbul, you can see people at different areas. You see one from there, one from there, one from there, etc. One other thing is you can also put the names here if you like. I mean, but what we did is at the moment we didn't put the names because what we are planning is we want to send them another email and request their confirmation to show their names in the map. The reason is that somebody else can use that email and say that, let's say I am Donald Trump and my email is this. So we cannot be sure. So we have to send them an email and say that, okay, we received a submission with this email address, with this name. If it is correct and if you would like to be seen in the map, please say yes. And then we can put the names too. But at this stage, we didn't put the names, but it's very easy. In addition to this, you see here are name and surname column. If you put the names here, it will be also written, but we just deleted them because at the moment we didn't want to show because we want them to say yes. And our target is, if we can do it, there are 81 cities and 51,000 small branches all around the country. We would like to have a lady and a gentleman from each such locations who are not for universal basic income or basic income, but who are for basic income discussions. I mean, we very clearly mentioned this. We say that this is not for basic income map. This is the map of the individuals and the networks for basic income discussion. So people who are against this concept can also participate here. And in the meantime, while preparing this, we are preparing a kind of database at the background with the names, addresses, and categories. So if you would like to send an email to academicians, so you can send this blue list. If you want to send to media representatives, you can send to yellow ones. So in the future, if you would like to be in communication with these people, you can choose, and it is very useful. I mean, it's not like a slide or a photograph. I mean, something visually good. It is, in fact, a database behind it. That's all I can say. Dear Valeria, please.
Thank you very much. I hope I could use it in the future. I just want to share an idea I've got from this your last point, that you are having this UBI discussion, not UBI activists. I would like to share my experience on that, because when we approached people 10 years ago with let's go and talk about basic income, and some people choose being against basic income idea, and they didn't know a lot of basic income, so they were forced for the last 10 years to stick with this standpoint because they are afraid to acknowledge they were wrong. So you are making enemies with this approach. I don't think it's so useful. What I did wrong in Slovenia, because I accepted those ideas from my fellows that we have to discuss with all kinds of people, also with people who are against. And because I was doing that, I forgot that I have to confront my own colleagues, UBI advocates, who were talking nonsense about basic income, That would be a good idea, confronting them. But I was so afraid that I will be left alone, the only one, that no one will hear me. So I was going with those basic income advocates, although I'm like maybe only 10% on the same line with them. What I'm saying is go as soon as possible to discuss the distinction about UBI approaches, because it's not only one approach. Sorry.
No.
I know we are tired.
No. My point is, especially the academicians, they don't want to be considered as for UBI person. So they think that they are objective and they are not from one side, and they scientifically challenge the concept. For example, there are some professors, they don't want to be a member of the society because they say that we have an academic objective position, so we shouldn't be saying that we are for UBI. We are not like a supporter of an idea. We are academicians. This is one thing. The second thing is, especially the media representatives, I mean, the journalists, etc., it's difficult to handle them. You cannot ask them, okay, why don't you be for UBI? Why don't you be a UBI advocate? So they say, okay, we are after news, we are after the realities, or, I mean, they don't want to be categorized as for UBI, the academicians and media people. That's why we give them a chance to be a part of the discussion.
I do agree, make discussion, but not with people who are against or they don't know anything, just to make media presentation. Just go and be bold in confronting different kind of UBI activists,
I understand you very well, but our point is not to organize a discussion arena for people who are against UBI. Our point is to have the inclusion of the academicians and media people who don't want to be categorized as for UBI people or UBI advocates. That's why, I mean, they would like to be neutral. Okay. Dear friends, very nice to see you all. It was a very beneficial and very fruitful meeting. And if we can do 10-15% of what we talk, it will be very good. But I mean, we can do it. No, there's a huge potential. We will see what will happen. Okay. Thank you very much.
Absolutely right.
Pardon, Olaf? I couldn't hear you.
I said, you said it. Absolutely right.
Pardon?
You said it. You're absolutely right.